So I have a question up right now about number 7 mower being locked up in the wheels. That is very, very, very rare. I'm not sure I've ever seen it. It's not a high tolerance or a low tolerance fit. You basically have two bearings here, two needle bearings. You have two needle bearings here, and you have two needle bearings there. None of them are high precision, so it's kind of rare for that to be happening unless it was filled with water and filled with rust. So right now I have the gearbox side jacked up, and number 7 wheels, unlike most mowers, I shouldn't say most mowers, I'll say most of the newer mowers, the wheels are actually solid on the shaft. The wheels do not turn on the shaft. So shaft meaning axle. So the axle is actually a 2-piece axle. The first one goes from this end and stops right about here. And then the second one will go from here over to there. That allows them to turn independently of each other going backwards, and they'll run together going forwards too. So no matter what happens, you should be able to turn your wheels backwards. So I have this side jacked up, and as you can see, your clutch system or your dog system is actually inside this gear housing right here. So there's dogs on this plate, and there's dogs on this plate, pardon my arm, and so inside both sides of this gear here is where the dogs catch. So I can turn this wheel independently backward. The axle will always turn. If the wheel turns, the axle will turn, always. So you should be able to hear that. Now if I lower this side and I jack up the other side, it's the same thing. I should always be able to turn it backwards. So that's where the two axle halves come together. They're not actually halves, but the two separate axles. Okay, so now I'm going to jack the other side back up just because it's easier for me to work from that side. So this gear is always turning. If you're going forward, that gear turns. If your wheels turn, that gear turns. Now, where some confusion comes in, and maybe not confusion or misunderstanding, but this gear right here has a shaft built into the gear that this spur gear drives on. Well, this spur gear has to be able to turn on that shaft, and this is where a lot of them are froze up on that right there. So this gear right here and this gear again will turn the entire time the wheels are going forward. Even if the mower's out of gear, those two turn all the time. Okay, so now the clutch comes in play when you put this back. You watch this gear right here, it will slide and mesh with teeth inside of here. There. So now the clutch system, not the dog system, the clutch system is it right here with these two gears. So now it's in gear. Now the clutch is engaged, and so now when I turn this wheel, everything should go. This gear, this gear, this gear, this gear, this gear, this gear, and a turn will turn the flywheel. So now that's everything. And again, this gear also has to be able to turn on its shaft. That will freeze up too. It's not as common as this one frozen up, but this one will freeze on its shaft too. So you may have you may have, what do I want to say? You may be tight, or you may be loose here, here, and here. And if so, if you rock the wheels, basically you should see movement here. If you see movement in your rock the wheels, you know it's not in the axle. If you see movement and you see this gear move independently of this gear, you know this is probably loose enough. And the other key thing would be to take it out of gear. And I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it by hand, but now I'm going to push it out of gear, and this gear will hop back over away and disengage the clutch. Okay, so now if I would turn the flywheel, now I can turn everything this way, and these will stay stationary because they're not attached anyway. The clutch is disengaged and so forth. So most of the time, if you have a number 7 froze up, I would say it's in this here, because I have some even on my shelves now that are froze up, that I didn't get loose. I haven't tried that hard because I don't need them at the moment, but that's how a number 7 gearbox works. So basically this gear will turn all the time, this gear will turn all the time. As long as your wheels are moving, both of those turn all the time. Now again, your clutch system is in here. Half of it is on this gear, the other half is on this gear. So when you push your foot pedal or release your foot pedal, that allows this to slide in, and that will mesh with that clutch, and now everything should come. To a lesser extent, I guess this gear and its built-in shaft can freeze on its own little axle. I can't say that's as common as this frozen, but this gear does have to slide on its axle, and it very well could be frozen up. Is another reason why your mower might not turn over, because either this is frozen on its axle or this is frozen on this shaft, or both, quite frankly. So yeah, that's a number 7 gearbox and how it works. It's simple, but it does freeze up. They are known to freeze, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if they're frozen, that means they're tight enough that they don't have a lot of play in them. This here is an exceptional gearbox, and while I have a look at it, I wish I knew 30 years ago how much I desperately want good gears and number 7 gearboxes, because we sold a lot of them over the years. You never knew it was going to be that hard to find, and you sold a lot of them because these parts were on its axle, these parts were on this axle, and once they get wobbly, there's really, I haven't found a way to fix it yet. I'm sure there's a way. It's just whether it's worth it or not. And the other thing, some number 7s have little needle bearings in these shafts. I think in both. Others just run on the bare shaft. So there are 2 different styles of gears in the gearboxes. So that is one thing you would have to know if you ever hunt for gears, whether you have a bearing style or something that just fits on the shaft. And I hope that helps. I know there's one gentleman having problems right now, and I really made this video for him, so we'll see if it does the job.